It's back. Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a wee bit different to the how-to videos, because I'm not really wanting to take the channel down the route of how-to videos. I want to focus more on stuff like this now that I've sort of come to terms with videoing, and well, I'm trying to come to terms with videoing and getting things edited and whatnot. But so here we've got Z20 Corsa C 2-litre turbo. It's my pal's car. I built it for him about a year ago from a rolling shell, and he just gave me the running gear and whatnot to put in it. So I spent a wee bit of time faffing about and head scratching and a wee bit of tears every now and then. But due to my own fault, nobody else's, it's back in the garage with a coolant leak because the alloy radiator has been rubbing on the tiniest wee clip possible on the boost control solenoid plug. So it's in to get fixed. So main lesson I'm taking away from this is always check what I've been on about before I say aye that's fine to take out onto the road, because it's came back to bite me on the arse, and it's something so simple that it could have been avoided. So hey ho, it is what it is. Let's get it stripped down. Looking back, I could have chose a better camera angle, and I think it's a lesson to be learned from this video. But all I'm doing here is I'm taking off the coolant hoses, any wiring that's needed, taking off the top slam panel, and then pretty much making a mess of the floor, not catching anything in the bucket below the car. And just like that, doesn't take long at all. Radiator's out and on the bench, and we can actually look, and that is the tiniest wee hole causing us all the issues. So we'll be getting that repaired and then hopefully get it back in the car with no issues. There's a couple of things I'm going to do differently, like the rubber mounts that I fitted with these. They don't really sit in the brackets on the subframe properly, so I'm going to think of something, a different way to make these sit a bit better in there. And I think this is a Mark IV Astra radiator. I'm not too sure, I could be totally wrong, either Mark IV or Mark V Astra radiator that's been used. And the one thing that it doesn't have on this car is the mounts for here. So I think I'll be making brackets up to pull the radiator further away from that plug right there, and just try and get it into the intercooler a wee bit better. So
2 days later,
we're back. Well over 24 hours later. Took the radiator up to Glasgow to a place called Star Radiators just near Ibrox, and they've sealed it using a 2-pack putty. They quickly explained to me how they do it. They use this 2-pack putty and they put a vacuum into the radiator, and the vacuum draws the putty into the hole, and that creates an airtight seal. They leave it for a few hours, let it set, and then they pressure tested it. So they're saying it should be all good. Fingers crossed, because it's a bit of a drive for us to get to Glasgow from where we are, and we can get this car all rebuilt. Fingers crossed, no issues, and get it out on the road for a wee run. So I've actually taken the bumper off camera, because I've only just put the radiator in just to see how it's sitting, because I've got new rubbers that I need to sort of make fit the bottom, because right now the radiator's just sitting on the subframe legs with a bit of garden hose on either side split in half, just to try and stop it chafing and we all know the last thing you want to be doing is chafing. So what I've done also is I've pulled the intercooler forwards a bit, I would say about an inch. I think that's where I went wrong when I put the car together, was the intercooler's been hard up against the radiator, and when he's been driving it, it's been pushing the radiator up against that BCS plug. So now that the intercooler's forward a wee bit, I'm hoping the bumper will fit back on, no bother. And then the radiator should sit nicely with the new rubbers that I'll hopefully get to fit pretty well. And then I think once I put this crash panel back, the slam panel back on, I'm going to try and use this eyelet here just to give it a wee bit more support and pull it forwards so that there's going to be no chance of it touching or rubbing anything. I was going to try and use these the side mounts that are already on the radiator, but there's nowhere really on the car that I can see that would be a suitable enough mounting point. And plus, if we've got that there that's doing nothing, we might as well make use of it. So hi, let's get cracked on and see how we do, and fingers crossed we'll be lighting the wheels up shortly. As you can see, there's a nice big bit of putty there. It's actually rock solid. It must be like some sort of chemical metal type stuff. But aye, that's the repair that they've carried out. And these here are the mounts, the new rubber mounts that I've found. I'm hoping they're quite a nice tight snug fit on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that cone off the top, or I might leave the cone and just cut it straight in half, and then that can sit there, and then the cone will be a nice locating point on the subframe feet. But I don't know, I'll fart about with it and I'll see what I can do, and see what I'm happy with. But because the last thing I want happening is this coming back in with the exact same issue again. Now, we're not lucky enough to have all these fancy tools yet, so this is the second bush I'm trying to cut in half here, and only almost took my thumb off once. That's the first one, just cut in half, taking a wee slither off, and it fits on there nicely, and it leaves us enough to drop through the saddle. But once I get this one cut, I'll stick the radiator back in and I'll show you exactly what I'm meaning. And hopefully it'll work, because I've not got any other ideas other than this. Oh, slide this in. Hopefully not causing it. Oh, there we go. You would think the amount of times I've had this in and out, I would make it look a lot easier. End up damaging it more than fucking I already have. So radiator's back in now, all the hoses are on, everything's tight. Get the power plug back in for the cooling fans. Next up, I think, will be the slam panel. Get that on, and then get something made up just to take the free play out of that and stiffen it up a wee bit. But as you can see down there, we have a gap of, doesn't look like it on the camera, but there's about ½ an inch gap between the plug and the radiator. So pretty happy with that. Just want to take the free play out. So let's get the next bit done. Right, I've changed my mind on what I was going to do on the top of here, onto the slam panel. I've just noticed there's a wee threaded mount there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test fit the bumper, see how much space I've got, and I'm going to get a bit of sheet steel and make a bracket to go from this point down to here, and then that should, in theory, hold it all together quite nicely and nice and firm. So yeah, fingers crossed that works out, or else I'm up shit creek, as they say, because there's nowhere really for me to take this point to without making the slam panel look messy. So not really too fond of that idea. So hopefully this one, it'll be an idea that will work, and you won't be able to see it either. So let's see. So my phone died earlier. I didn't realise when I was just finishing off this, and I didn't have a charger on me, so I just cracked on and got this all done, painted and fitted. It's not the prettiest, but it's there to serve a purpose, and it was made in quite a quick time frame there, but it's absolutely solid. There is no movement in that radiator whatsoever now, and we've got our rubber feet in the bottom there as well on both sides, just giving it a wee bit more support and protection from the steel subframe. And the main thing is though that I've got a gap between the plug and the radiator, so pretty happy with that. It's absolutely solid, it's going nowhere. So it's just a case of now putting the rest of it all back together, but not until I tidy up all these cables. I just want to get the tester tape out, get it all tidied up, get it actually looking like it's meant to be there as opposed to a botch job. So I had never had time really when I last had the car in to get all that sorted. So get that done, get the boost pipes back on, get everything plugged in, get the coolant topped up, and we'll be good to start her up. Right, so that's us all built up now. Everything's on and tight, it's where it should be. The wiring has all been tidied up, got rid of the Scotch lock in there, it's been soldered. Power supply plug for the engine loom, I've cut it and resoldered a few of the connections because it was pretty naff looking, so that's all tidied up. We've got the ABS plug here, there was bare wires there, so, well, not bare wires, but there was wiring showing, so that's all been taped up and just blacked out. Let's just cut the chit chat now and get to the part that everyone wants to see, firing it up for the first time. Here we go. Luckily the bumper's fitted first time, even after pulling the intercooler backwards, but lo and behold, my phone ran out of storage here, so you only get a wee bit of seeing the bumper going back together. But aye, let's get the bumper on and get it out on the road. back, guys. She's back on the road. Running actually really nicely. It was a wee bit lumpy at the start, but she's back on the road just in time to get put away for winter. A really fun wee car to drive. That's the first time I've driven this car on the road since I built it for my pal, and it is quite a rocket ship, and it's still to be properly mapped and have the steering set up, the geometry and the tracking and whatnot all set up, but it just looks unreal, and it's not even been washed for a wee Corsa. It's quite a cool wee car, man, and it's quite well spec'd. I'll just quickly run through all the specs. So we've got 4-pot, I can't remember what brand they are, but 4-pot brakes on the front. Can't even remember the wheels, the make of the wheels, but as you can see, they look pretty smart. Advan AD08 RS tyres on it all round. Inside, it's got a hydraulic handbrake, full bolt-in cage as well. That's pretty smart, but what a racket in the back, being fully stripped out with the stones. Under the bonnet, start with the exhaust. There's a 3-inch downpipe to 3-inch straight pipe, all the way to the 3-inch outward rolled tip. Now that we're actually under the bonnet this time, I get ahead of myself doing the walk round there, but start off the cone filter with the crossover delete, turbo smart actuator, along with the turbo smart resuck valve down in the turbo. You can't see that though. Alloy radiator, as you can see for the whole point of this video, and then in front of that we've got the oversized Courtney Sport airtight, the Courtney Sport intercooler, and then we've also got an external oil cooler also in behind the bumper there, in behind that air dam bumper. And then with the cylinder head, it's been fully rebuilt with Piper Fast Road cams, uprated valve springs. I'm pretty certain we put uprated valve springs in it. The Nevlock uprated valve stem seals as well, because that's quite a good upgrade to do, because like everyone who knows these engines, the stem seals are absolutely shocking. They're always going on them. So we've got aircon delete, obviously. I don't even think the Corsa came with aircon from factory, but it's got the aircon delete bracket fitted to it. I'm pretty certain it's an EDS genuine manifold. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain it's genuine. Someone might be able to correct me going off that stamp there. As you can see, full Courtney Sport, enlarged top hat, boost pipes, down to the Courtney Sport intercooler. And then down below the inlet manifold, we've got the TIGWorks oil cooler delete pipe, just because we've got the external cooler fitted, so we've done away with the OE oil cooler as well. And then other than that, I'm pretty certain it's an F23 diesel gearbox that's in this, just from what the owners told me. I'm pretty certain. I'd never actually looked very much into it, but F23 diesel gearbox as far as I know. Suspension wise, it's gas, fully adjustable coilovers with the dampening adjustment and adjustable drop links as well. So off the top of my head, that's pretty much everything I can think of that's been done to the car so far. And like I say, still got stuff to do in the interior, new seats, get a couple of bits done in the dash, and then should be a good wee car for next year, tying up the Crail, along with my own car. So that's about it for the Corsa. Right, so that'll be the end of this video. If you like this kind of content, give us a wee thumbs up, let us know what you think, because like I said previously, I've got my own car. It's a Mark IV Astra GSI. I've got my Vivaro Sport, which at some point I would love to stick one of these Z20s into as well. I don't really want to turn the channel into a Vauxhall Z20 conversion channel, because there are other jobs there that I'm wanting to do. But just to finish off, thanks very much for watching, and what a spot to end the video on. Absolute cracker right on my doorstep. See you later on, guys.